guests. Welcome to All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club on a special occasion as we just are completed, or I should say, completed our Golden Jubilee. I am Toastmaster Sita Raman. I'll be performing the role of Sergeant at Arms, SAR, for this 51st meeting of All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club. Big round of applause for all of us, please. All right. As I officially commence the meeting, I intend to mention that this meeting will be recorded and shared for self-reflection purposes. Some parts of this may also be used for promotional material later. Wanted to highlight that first. I hope there are no objections to it. Okay. The reason is we don't want our VP Public Relation Falgunan to get sued later on if somebody raises an objection later when we go ahead with the promotional content. Back to the meeting, a few ground rules before we start the meeting. As this is an online meeting, please put your Zoom microphones on mute when not speaking. Please do keep your mobile phones in switched off or silent mode throughout the meeting. You get 20 seconds to do that now. All right. Do not interrupt when someone is speaking. Please turn off your video if you're planning to step out of the meeting. And most importantly, as Toastmasters, I request the members, speakers to refrain from talking on three topics: sex, religion, and politics. We all have our missions to achieve our goals. Our Toastmaster Club also has a mission. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce the meeting open. Let me now invite our President, Sapna Ori, to deliver her opening address.
Thank you so much for that, Sergeant at Arms. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the very first meeting of this season. We all have stepped into a new year of Toastmasters, and I just have one thing to tell to all of you. No matter what has happened in the past, that ended on 30th of June 2023. We all started with a clean slate on 1st of July 2023 with a motive in our hearts and in our minds that we are going to be successful this year as speakers, as leaders, as a club. And I'm very happy to announce today that we have gone ahead and we have renewed 11 Toastmasters in our club, which is an achievement. So we are one of those amongst those clubs in the district, which is, I think, 20 or 25 odd clubs who have gone ahead and who have renewed even before 31st of July. So we've started with a bang, and I want this bang to continue. I don't want this to fizzle out at all. I want us to go out and start talking about All Elite Toastmasters Club to everybody that we meet, to Toastmasters, to probably non-Toastmasters who are experienced trainers, coaches, consultants in their own professions. Get them to the club. Let them experience the meeting of the club. However, the bigger question that everybody is asking, how are we going to retain our members? How are we going to ensure that members don't leave and they renew? Well, that onus lies completely on us as a club. We, as club members, have to ensure that we conduct meetings as and when it has to happen. We never cancel our meetings. We also ensure that all our role players are here to attend the meeting and to play the role that they promised they will. At the same time, we also ensure that we have a quality meeting. We are 7 of us in the room today, and I'm sure we are going to have an amazing meeting. This is the meeting experience that any new guest who is going to come to our club is going to experience and would want to stay or renew or join the Toastmasters Club. So I just need one promise from all of you. Are you going to go ahead and ensure that you invite one member at least in a month, one guest at least in a month, and ensure that he joins the All Elite Toastmasters Club and is successful in whatever he wants to do? Do I have a promise from all of you? Thank you so
Yeah,
much. With this, I hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day today, who is an IT professional, a distinguished Toastmaster, and immediate past division as director, distinguished Toastmaster Akshay Singh. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, President of the club. Once again, good morning to each and every one of you. Today is the 51st meeting. We have already completed the 50 meeting mark. And with that intent, the theme for today's meeting is the leadership legends. We all speak about multiple different leaders across the world. Leaders such as Barack Obama, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, APJ Abdul Kalam, and so many more. But today, I want to highlight the leaders of our club who have contributed to the journey and has ensured that our club continues to grow and move forward. One such leader is right here in the meeting. He was the first person who approached me to become a member of this Advanced Toastmasters Club. Back then, I remember the discussion which we had, and it was that this will definitely be a platform which will help me polish my skills. This is the kind of leader who reaches out to you and helps you look at a different perspective, look at a different avenue, which is none other than how Toastmasters work. And this is none other than Toastmaster Falgunan Kumaran. So let's have a round of applause for Falgunan. He must be the first member who must have reached out to so many different members of our club, and one of the legends for All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club, because he is the one who convinced almost 20 plus Toastmasters along with Vaswan that yes, we need an advanced club, and that is the place where we all will be able to work upon and polish our skills. Throughout the years, Advanced Club as well as the format has definitely helped me to polish and make my skills better. With this, let us hear about the meeting format which we are going to follow. We have one prepared speech, which will have 3 sets of speech evaluators as the advanced format, wherein we have one objective evaluator, one content coach, and third is the delivery coach. Moving after this, we have table topic sessions, wherein I want each and every one of us to be attentive, because the advanced table topics is slightly bit different, which you will get to know during the segment. Because we not only ask you to volunteer, but also give out feedback. And finally, towards the end, we have the general evaluation round, wherein we all shall receive feedback as to how we can improve better tomorrow. Has 3 important role players, which are very crucial, as these are the 3 pillars which help us move forward and improve minute aspects of communication. So first, let me invite the timer for the day, which is none other than Toastmaster Sita. Over to you, Toastmaster Sita.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Akshay. Today we have one prepared speech. It's the timing for the speech is from 4 to 6 minutes for qualification. There will be a 30-second grace period on both sides as well. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Sita. Now, we have always seen Sita as a member who has been in the club regularly taking up roles. But this is the first time he is moving on to the leadership journey within our club. So let's have a round of applause for Toastmaster Sita and welcoming him as one of the club officers for this year. Let's move ahead to our next role player. And this is someone who is playing 2 roles. Right from the start, playing multiple roles, adorning the hat of the president, the big membership, and even currently serving the expo. I guess she is the only member who has been in all the executive committee right from the start and charter of the club. She is a dynamic member, a Rotarian, an award-winning Toastmaster as last year Toastmaster of the Year for District 90. Please let me welcome leader and our fellow member, Toastmaster Girija, to share the objectives of our counter and the language evaluation.
Thank you, Akshay, for that very warm introduction. As the language evaluator, I'm giving you the word of the day. Today, in keeping with the theme, leadership, the word of the day I've chosen is a simple word, guidance. It is a noun, and the meaning is advice or information aimed at resolving a problem or difficulty, especially as given by someone in authority. For example, he looked to his father for inspiration and guidance. Another meaning is the directing of the motion or position of something, especially a missile. Prithvi is India's first surface-to-surface missile guidance system developed in 1988. That is a sample sentence. Similar words are advice, counsel, direction, instruction, teaching, counseling, enlightenment, and so on. I will look at people who are using the word of the day usage and refer to them when I give the report. Similarly, I've already started looking at the good usages that people have been making from this beginning of the meeting, areas of improvement, and any areas where pronunciation can be improved. That also will be taken care of during the report. As our counter, I'd be looking at the fillers that people use, like and then repetition of words where it is not required, like so, and, but, basically, like, others, such words, which are filler words. Knowing these filler words, what words we are repeating them helps us to become more clear in our communication, and there are no gaps, and the listeners find it a joy to listen to us when there are no fillers. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Akshay.
Thank you, Girija. Girija, I would request you to please put the word of the day in the chat so that one can easily remember it again. With this, let us go ahead and start our first segment, which is the prepared speech segment. And today we have one speaker, which is none other than our president, taking the charge, leading forward with example, showing that she wants to start her journey this year with her icebreaker speech. So before she begins her speech, let me invite her coach to share the objectives of the speech. May I know who's the lead coach?
It's not nominated there. We are doing it as delivery coach and the content coach.
All right.
That's okay. I can step up and share knowing what her speech is. So today our target speaker, Toastmaster Sapna, would be delivering her first speech. She's starting a new pathway. The objective of the speech is to introduce herself. She would have, as the timer mentioned, 4 to 6 minutes in her overall speech, and we will, as evaluators, be looking at both the content and delivery aspect of her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Let us welcome our speaker, Sapna Ori, onto the spotlight to perform an audio, video, and timer cards check.
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, Sapna, you're audible and clearly visible. Can you see the timer cards transition?
I would need just that extra bit to share my screen. I'm still.
Do you feel I need to have a background, or I can remove the background as well? I mean, it's going to come like this otherwise.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not that
There's
I'm
not
moving
much,
any which ways. Yeah, not that I'm moving any which way. So,
not much disturbance on the background.
okay.
Just let me.
Sita, can you add a white slide so that as we can show the white slide?
The white slide, one second. Just.
Yeah, the first slide can be the white one. So just do a new slide and it will come up. Yeah. Remove the. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Just a minute. Yes.
Distinguished
sorry, go ahead.
Distinguished Toastmaster Sapna. I'm restarting my path after an year's gap. I'm restarting my path after an year's gap. Distinguished Toastmaster Sapna. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Well, What's in a name? That's what everybody thinks, and that's what Shakespeare said. I am very particular about my name. Having spent almost 16 years outside of my own hometown and experiencing the south and the western part of India where my name was misspelled, miswritten lot many times, I became pretty touched by anyone who could never pronounce my name right. I have been called Sapana, I have been called Swapna, and my surname, which is Ori, has been called Ori, Ora. Like it was almost like it was an alien name. Well, the story is very funny behind my name. My initial name when I was born was kept as Gitika. And then my mom went to watch a movie with her cousin sister, which was, and I forgot the name of the movie. Just right now, it was Ratya Agnihotri and Kamal Hassan's first movie, in which the both the characters' name was Sapna and Vasu. And my mother's cousin sister had a son, so they both came out of the theater and they decided we'll keep our son and daughter's name as Sapna and Vasu, and when they get married, when they grow up, they are going to get married. Well, that marriage never happened between the both of us, and I'm glad. However, my name was Sapna. And now when I go back and tell everybody, people end up asking me, what's the meaning of your name? And I say, my name it means dream. Oh, you must be dreaming a lot. Literally, no. Because whenever I sleep so soundly that I'm snoring away to glory and I don't even remember what I've dreamt about. Well, I am the youngest child in the house. And as legend says it, whenever you have two children in the house, they are always divided among the father and the mother. The elder one always goes with the father, the younger one always goes with the mother somehow. And I was called my mother's pet throughout my life. Until the age of 23, when my dad passed away and I had to step out of my house to take care of the household, everybody in my family actually thought I will never be able to leave my mother, move out of the house, be independent, let alone I might just run away out of the house at the age of 18, get married, have kids, and not have any other life. Well, I proved everybody wrong. And I think that's where my romance with proving people wrong started. I proved everybody wrong that I can never cook in my life. I started to learn how to cook because being a Punjabi by nature, I love my paranthas a lot. And I couldn't just survive on idli, dosa, or for that matter, poha and upma. And then it went on that I had never washed clothes. So when my family said that you definitely cannot do anything in your life, I started to wash clothes, even though I did spoil my clothes by putting them or by soaking them in the detergent for like 24 hours, wherein the colors mismatched. And I still went it and I wore those clothes, by the way. Why? Because I started learning how to be responsible for your own mistakes. I started owning my own mistakes and I never felt bad about it because I thought that every mistake I'm making in my life, it is taking me a step further of getting matured and trying to learn on my own and being independent. Well, I made a lot of financial mistakes as well, to which I'm not going to talk about it. It's not a very good thing. However, I landed up in payroll, which is now my profession. I'm a working professional from past 17 years. I landed up in payroll and that was by mistake. It was not by choice, it was by chance. And I think for the longest period of my time until 2013, I never realized that how my first organization, which helped me to learn payroll, which was ADP, has so much of importance in the world. Like it's one of the leading organizations in the entire world which who process global payroll. And I never realized how important that skill set that I have picked up in my life was. And today, whatever I am doing in my professional life, I owe it to my first organization, ADP, who made me learn payroll. And if you want to know what is payroll and what do you do in payroll, let me just tell you, if you get paid at the end of the day, please thank people like us who go ahead in the span of 2 days, just ensure that you get paid right. Your taxes are paid to the government. Your provident fund is deducted correctly, submitted into your account. And if you don't get paid right, please never come to me. I am not the one responsible for processing your paycheck, by the way. Well, I have a very small and a beautiful family. I have my sister who is in Bombay. I have a 13-year-old teenager nephew who's more like that younger brother I never had and whom I love to bully a lot. And then I have my mother who has an OCD for cleanliness. And there is a joke that goes around. When we used to stay in Udhampur, my friends used to ask me, where is your house? And I used to say, you keep walking the road. At the end of the road, the house that you will see with all the white clothes hanging, that is my house. So That was the nameplate that we had. All the white clothes hanging outside my house. That is my house, because my mother loves to clean, loves to wash, and keeps everything spick and span. I think I'm very proud of my mother today. When I look at myself, or when I sit and I reflect, how am I so courageous? I look at my mother and I say that she's the one probably that I got it from. My mother happens to be a Sardarni by birth, but mere 12 nahi bachte. That's what I tell everybody. However, today I am a Toastmaster from last almost 12 years now, and I think the journey has been impeccable. This journey has given me a lot of mentors that I have learned from. This journey has given me lifelong friends who are now family. This journey has made me a better leader, uh, if not a better communicator. I'm still learning to be a better communicator. However, a better leader for sure, because in the last 12 years, I have learned how to listen. I have learned how to understand. And yes, I have learned how to communicate what I want everyone to do, what goals I have in mind, and how those are to be achieved. Another thing which I learned the most important was that it's not always important for a leader to lead from the front, but a leader can still set the goal, be at the back, push their team to go ahead and help achieve that goal. So, with this little bit about myself, I, me, myself, and my Toastmaster of the day went ahead and just changed my entire speech title to that I am actually coming back after a year and want to redeliver my icebreaker. But this was my icebreaker, which was I, me, myself. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster. Let's have a standing ovation for the speaker. This is the milestone speech. All right. With this, we have completed our first prepared speech segment of our 51st speech. Let us speak about our different leaders who have contributed to the club. Right from the start, we had different district leaders who were part of the journey initially. Myself, Sapna, Vinay, Vivaswan, and multiple Falgunan, and so many others who kept going right from the start, first day. So that is something which we should all remember. Despite having multiple district responsibilities as well as our dual club responsibilities, our members have continued to contribute towards the club. With this in mind, let us ensure that this year we are able to add, as promised to our president, one new member every meeting, such that we can easily achieve the target and become a distinguished club once again. To begin with the third segment, which is second segment, which is none other than the table topics round, let me invite the table topic master for today. She is a member with whom I have worked very closely for a club as a mentor. She has been right there from the start as a BP membership, even as a president. With her, I interacted right here in the club for the very first time. And I learned that she's an HR professional as well as who loves Toastmasters. She rejoined her journey with our club. So please help me welcome none other than Toastmaster Nirrmala Mennon, who is going to continue the second segment as the table topic master. Nirrmala, are you there? Nirrmala, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
It's asking to be unmuted.
Yeah.
The host must have muted her, so can the host unmute her? Girija, you can on the participants click Nirmala's name and ask me to unmute.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot come on. I can't start my video since we are having some good rains and winds here, and the net connection is really bad. Any which ways. A very good morning to each and every one of you, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters. It's nice to say good morning. We have always been saying good evening. Table topics helps members practice the art of improvisation and helps us think on our feet, which is so important in today's VUCA world. You don't know when you will be asked to talk about something, and this is the platform that helps us be prepared, have the be able to articulate the words that are required, and do a good job about it. It helps us develop four vital communication skills, which is listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering, and that too without preparation. The takeaway from participating in table topics, as we all know, is it enhances our articulation skills, thinking on our feet, literally, as and when required, then and there. To make today's session interesting and in sync with the theme of today, I have few topics that I've chosen to suit the theme leadership legend. You can choose from numbers 1 to 6. All the speakers can choose from numbers 1 to 6. I shall read the topic twice. And I would earnestly request all speakers to use the word of the day guidance in their speeches. Speakers are also requested to carefully understand the topic and speak with relevance to the same. Before we begin, I request our timer, Toastmaster Sita, to call out the timing guidelines for the table topics as well as the topic speech evaluation.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Thank you, Table Topic Master Nirrmala. I hope I'm saying it right. The table topic timer, as a table topic timer, each speaker would be given 2 to 3 minutes with 30 seconds grace period, both sides. I think that's pretty much what the timing guidelines for table topic master would be. Please correct me if I've got it wrong, other Toastmasters.
1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you. 1 to 2 minutes.
1 will be green, 1.5 will be yellow, and 2 will be red.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sitna. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sita. Let's begin. Who would like to go first?
I'll be the evaluator for the first speaker, so anyone can go.
I'll take up the first speech.
Perfect. So from numbers 1 to 6, what is your choice?
Number 1.
All right, wonderful. Number 1. One example of servant leadership you have witnessed in your journey.
Good morning, fellow dear Toastmasters. As we are speaking about leadership, my very first experience takes me back to the year 2017, when I was in the country called as India and the state called as God's own country, Kerala, in a city known as Trivandrum. Back then, I had just started my corporate journey with TCS. Over the weekends, I used to spend my time volunteering at one of the NGOs known as Helping Hands. That was the first place where I had a guide. I had a mentor under whose guidance I learned the art of volunteering and helping differently abled children and how we can interact with them. That is the first place I witnessed the servant leadership. There was this one member known as Gauri, who was an engineering student from the College of Engineering, Trivandrum. And she used to volunteer every Saturday at this particular NGO. And just for one aspect, which was none other than to see the joy and smiles on all the children over there. Every week, we used to come together to plan different activities as to what we are going to do. Remember, these were specially able children, so you have to be very cautious as to how you interact with them. You could not touch them. You have to be very pleasant on your face when you are interacting, not to have any grumpy or sad face, otherwise they used to start crying or feel a bit scared. During that time, I learned from her how you can do all that. And I'm grateful for her because she was the guidance which I required at that time. She used to come there every week. and serve those kids so that they can progress in their journey. She helped them learn. She helped them learn different aspects like music, learned about the nature, as well as share stories. For me, it was very difficult to interact with them because I didn't knew the language. But from her, I learned that it is just how effectively you can use gestures and your facial expressions to communicate with them. That was the very first time I witnessed servant leadership because she used to never ask anything. Over the years, where I was there, I used to bring in volunteers from TCS. None were like her because the TCS volunteers, very few had that passion. Some of them used to ask me, how many hours do we need to volunteer and what we will get out of it? But she, and there were few who never asked, they just were there to bring those smiles and joy on these kids. Over to you, Toastmasters, Nirmala.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for that beautiful insight into what you have been doing with those differently able kids. They definitely have found a wonderful person in you, and all the very best in this journey of yours. Thank you so much. Moving on, let us have the second speaker. Before that, let's have feedback for Toastmaster Akshay. So, Sapna, could you please take over? Toastmaster
Yep.
Sapna?
So I'll quickly, just one thing, I think it was a beautiful story. However, since the topic was your experience or any one experience that you would want to share about servant leadership, I think a service leadership for me is where a leader prioritizes serving the greater good. In this one, that thing did come out that the volunteer, I think her name was Gauri, she was coming every weekend and she was doing a lot of things. But I think one instance, a story, which would have really helped us to understand what she was exactly doing for the greater good and what was the impact of it, would have been really nice, because it became a very generic thing that she was doing a lot of stuff. But I think when it comes to a greater impact of a table topic, I think one story of enhance or highlighting that servant leadership would have been better. Over to you, Nirmala.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sapna. Well, it's time for our next topic. Who would like to take it up?
Go ahead, Kirja. Who wants? Falgunan. Okay.
Okay,
No, I'm
Falgunan.
saying that whosoever is evaluating, they can be the next speaker like that.
I think whenever Falgunan moves, no, the background, something pops up, and that's why I was thinking it's your hand that's coming up. See?
Yeah, even I thought so. All right, so Toastmaster Sapna, you're next by default.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So here's a topic for you. Toastmaster Sapna, leadership is all about working and winning as a team. Toastmaster Sapna, leadership is all about working and winning as a team.
Leadership is about doing the task at hand and not thinking about whether you're going to win or lose. At the end of the day, it's a journey. What matters is that how you have learned and how you have improved on that journey. I always say we always start from point A to point B. Let's take an example. Today I started working out. It is going to take me probably 7 days or 21 days to make it as an habit. By the end of the 21 days, I am at least used to working out, even if it is simple going ahead and walking. The same is with your team. You set a goal. The goal to be set is, let's take an example. You want to add 2 members in a club. You go ahead and you start working out the strategies and the tactics with your team, and you say in the next 3 months we are going to ensure that we add those 2 members. Now in this entire journey or the entire process, all your members are going to start talking about Toastmasters to their friends, to their colleagues, to their family members. Some of us who are introverts, who are not comfortable talking, we will start talking about it. Why? Because we feel probably passionate about it. Some of us are going to go ahead and start writing down the talking points for our fellow Toastmasters so that it makes it easier for them to go ahead and talk about Toastmasters. Some of us will be busy organizing an amazing meeting for those guests to come and attend. That means we are helping our team members to learn those organizing skills. At the end of the day, what will happen is, when your members are going out and talking, when your other members are helping them with the talking points, with the organization of the entire meeting, we all are collaborating together. When we are collaborating together, we are learning from each other. And when we are learning from each other, it's a win-win situation. Now you will ask, what if those two guests do not become members? It is perfectly fine, because on this entire journey, all my members in the club have learned a new skill, or they have built that confidence that they're good in speaking, writing, or organizing. So with this, for me, it's not about win all the time, but it's about the journey and the experience that you gain in that journey, which is a win for you, not always the goal. Over to you, Nirmala.
Thank you, Toastmasters. Sapna, I really did like your views on this topic, the way you put it across. Thank you once again. Fellow Toastmasters who would like to evaluate Toastmasters Sapna's table topic. Shall I call on Falgunan?
I'll go ahead.
Okay, please. Toastmaster Arvind.
Sapna, having just passed the threshold of the district director, she had a lot to say about it, and it was an experience that she has actually conveyed. So when it comes from somewhere, from that point where you have actually experienced it, there's a lot of confidence in what you are saying and how you have said it. It helps a lot to understand and how it has to be done. So having just come out, like I said, from the leadership position as a district director and having taken the district to becoming select distinguished, it's a wonderful thing to have spoken thus. Only thing I could have said is that this is leadership, and you could have used the word of the day, guidance, because in this very thing you could say, yes, we are all guided, or there was guidance, something to that effect, and we could have brought in the word for the day. Thank you. Over to you, Nirmala.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. Yes, that's a gentle reminder for me also to again request all Toastmasters to use the word guidance in their table topics. Thank you once again, Toastmaster Arvind. So who is next?
Before you proceed,
Arvind. Yes,
before you proceed, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master Nirmala, just wanted to be sure if everyone are able to see the transition, the timing transitions. Just wanted to be sure. Thank you. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sita, for that. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Arvind by default. The topic for you, Toastmaster Arvind, is we have heard many leaders say, friends, this is the situation. That is a topic. Friends, this is the situation. Can you expand from here on?
Thank you, Nirmala. Friends, this is the situation. And let me talk about the situation at this meeting. We've got 11 members who have already registered or renewed their membership, but all we have is our 6 members who are here taking multiple roles. And for the benefit of the members, we did have, or I do know, that we have changed the timing and the day so that it could accommodate some more. Now, what I don't see is why we have not gone over this number of 6 for this. The situation is like this. And yes, we do have plenty of guidance from here on how it could be done and what is to be done. Now, having changed the date, having changed the time, was a guidance given by the members themselves. But if we do not follow what we want, then it becomes a situation thus. Over to you, Nirmala.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. You definitely caught on. Moving on, who is the next speaker? If I can request somebody to raise their hands from the people, the Toastmasters we have here. Toastmaster Girija, fabulous. Toastmaster Girija, I'm not asking you to choose the number. I would like to give you the topic.
Also, she will have to give a feedback, no, Arvind?
Oh, yes. Toastmaster, thank you, Toastmaster Falgunan, for pointing that out. Toastmaster Girija, if you could give your feedback first.
Arvind, as always, was spot on. He talked about the present. We always say that yesterday is history and tomorrow is a mystery and today is the present. So we need to think in the present, which he did. At the same time, I was also tempted to think your topic was so interesting. This is the situation. So I just remembered how Sullenberg was, when I heard the topic, that is what I remembered. Captain Sully was sitting on the plane, and then the birds come and hit, and the river, there is a river below, and he doesn't have freedom to go to the nearest airport and land there. What does he do? That was the situation. So he said, here is the situation, and what am I going to do? With his fighter pilot experience, he landed the plane on the Hudson River. So that's what I thought about. It was a very interesting event that came to my mind. So I think he could have used something like that to bring more interesting things over there. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Girija, for that valuable feedback. Now, the topic for you, which I would like to give you, would be, Toastmaster Girija, why do geese fly in a V formation? One of the, I would say, one of the enlightening topics of leadership. Why do geese fly in a V formation? Over to you, Toastmaster Girija.
Thank you. When geese fly in a V formation, they augment the best possibility for improving their speed. So it seems that they increase their speed by about 72 times when they use that V formation and they fly together. And very seamlessly, they change positions. When one leader is tired and then he wants to move, then it seems the bird flaps wings in a different way, and the next another bird moves in there, glides in there, and very smoothly the other bird takes place of the bird which has moved to the leadership position. So they keep that formation, and that keeps them together. Everybody knows what is their position. They know who is the leader. And at the same time, everybody understands that it is together that they are enabling that speed, which reduces a lot of energy that is spent for them. They are able to cover more distance, all because of they have been together. So this brings about a sense of unity, a sense of responsibility, and this is something so wonderful that nature teaches us. When they migrate very long distances, and sometimes without food, it is very important for them to conserve energy. So they need to flap their wings less because they're all doing it in unison. So that, and they are able to make the best use of the current of the wind. So this is the lesson that we learn from the geese. So thank you, and over to you.
I would like to evaluate table topic master.
Please.
Yeah, thank you. To me, it sounded like Toastmaster Girija was an ornithologist, if I remember the word correctly, in terms of really knowing how the birds in a V form really had, demonstrate leadership. And she had also had some scientific explanations to do. She did really look at the theme around the topic and expressed about what really happens, one bird giving way for the other. So all of that in terms of addressing the key point in the topic was there in her speech. I thought she could also use the word again, like our previous evaluator mentioned, guidance here. The first bird, which is flying, flapping its wings, guides the entire flock, and then the second one takes the position. So everyone is a leader. Some sort of that would have made that much more impactful. That's what I would say. Otherwise, fabulous speech. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sita. It also gives me, an understanding that it's situational leadership. I always think, when I see this or when I read about this topic, it brings me to the. It gives me the understanding that it's all about situational leadership, and that's how they cover those long distances with these thoughts. I mean, these aspects in mind. Okay, moving forward, who would like to take the next Toastmaster Sita, you would be the next speaker.
With the
Now
timer on, struggling. So if anybody else allowed to talk,
somebody can take up. All right. Okay, or can somebody just take up the timer's role
Yeah,
for Toastmaster
I will take it
Sita's
up first.
speech? Yeah.
please.
All right, Toastmaster Sita, we have 5 and 6. Which one would you like?
Give me 5.
All right. The topic is a fool always thinks himself to be wise, a leader does not. A fool always thinks himself to be wise, a leader does not. Toastmaster Sita.
This is something that I'm sure at our organization experiences, even personal experiences, we would have seen situations where we would have people come in probably under pressure, suggesting a few things which might not be the right set of action or right action for handling a situation. Not that I would want to classify them as a fool, but then this is where among the various people who end up acting without thinking may look like fools, and it's where the demonstration of the right leadership comes in. And this reminds me of Apollo 13 movie, where when the entire spaceship goes into a critical situation where oxygen is not available, you need to, the pod gets into a challenge with respect to its navigation. The leader out there, I forgot his name, would be bombarded with too many suggestions, and how he situationally handles those suggestions from each of them and really helps the crew to come back. And that's where it's important as a leader to think wise, keep taking those inputs from the different people, assess it based upon what is required at a given point in time, go by facts and figures. And of course, sometimes we need to lead by the heart as well, put that element in. And that's where the wise element about a leader comes in. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sita. Wonderful words that you have used. Can we have someone from the audience evaluate Toastmaster Sita? Falgunan.
No one else is left.
All right, Toastmaster Falgunan, could you please provide your evaluation?
I think the topic started with fools think themselves as wise. Yeah, I think that element was not touched upon much by the speaker in his speech. So he spoke about leadership, how they have to, of all the suggestions or chaos happening around, need to be taking the best decision. So that's an input which I would say. But I've also given example on the other side. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sita. Toastmaster Falgunan. You have this topic number 6, and I would like, it's a bit long, but I would wanted to understand what it is and then speak on it. This is something that Lao Tzu has said. It's a quote from one of his books that I have taken. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim is fulfilled. They will say, then the team will say, we did it ourselves. I'll read it once again. A leader is best when his team barely knows he exists. When his work is done, his aim is fulfilled. And then the team will say, we did it ourselves.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nirrmala. In my view, a leader is the one who creates more leaders. And that's also what the place and Toastmasters believes in, where leaders are made. Now, saying that, there are two elements which a leader can exhibit in their behaviors. One is, I am the one, and the power element which comes into picture, and the credit which is taken of every success. And the other option is, be there as a guiding light to all their team members and allow them to explore and exploit their potential to the best and display their leadership capabilities. And whenever success comes, let them take charge and give credit to them. And in my view, that's a true leader. They do not hog for limelight. They are also there to guide their team members and ensure that they succeed. Because in their success is where that leader will also succeed. We cannot micromanage or be controlling each and everything in our sphere. When we have a large team, trust them, enable them, guide them, and let them be winners. And definitely, when the team wins, you, as a leader, will automatically win. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Nirrmala.
Thank you, Toastmaster Falgunan. Can I
I'll
ask
take up
Toastmaster? Yes. Yes, please.
So, Falguni, you definitely mentioned the traits about such kind of leader that was very well done throughout the speech. Only thing was a specific example or a specific leader whom you have met with that experience that have been shared and you could all relate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay, for that valuable feedback. I finished my topics and I'm very happy to have listened to all the speakers who gave such wonderful insights related to the topics that I had presented. Thank you so very much. And the evaluators who have given the evaluations for all the topics to all the speakers. Moving on, can I request our timer to please share the timing report for both the speakers and the evaluators?
Thank you, Table Topic Master Nirrmala. So our first speaker, Table Topic Master Akshay, Toastmaster Akshay, exactly clocked 2 minutes and 30 seconds. His evaluator, Toastmaster Sapna, had clocked 26 seconds. Toastmaster Sapna, for her speech, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Toastmaster Arvind, as her evaluator, was 54 seconds. Now, Toastmaster Arvind, for his table topic speech, had clocked 1 minute, 10 seconds. Toastmaster Girija, as his evaluator, exactly clocked 60 seconds, 1 minute. Toastmaster Girija, for her speech, she had clocked 1 minute, 43 seconds. I had done her evaluation, 40 seconds. If whoever computed my timing for my table topic speech, Akshay, if you can share it.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. And Toastmaster Falgunan for his evaluation of my speech was 31 seconds. And finally, we had the sixth speaker, Toastmaster Falgunan, 1 minute, 36 seconds. And Toastmaster Akshay was 15 seconds. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sita, for the timings presented. And I'm thankful to each and every one of you for participating in this wonderful round of table topics. I hope you have enjoyed the session and had some takeaways related to the subjects, the topics. Can I get a thumbs up from you if you have? Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. With this, I end my session here. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster.
Let's have a round of applause for our table topic master Nirrmala, who always keeps innovating with the table topics down and brings something new. Awesome. There are multiple different leaders who have been part of our club, who have supported us beyond by not being just a member. One such leader is none other than our very next role player, whom whenever we reach out, he is willing to take up any role that is available and help us with our journey. With immense experience of the Toastmasters community over the years, he guides us, and yes, he is very critical when it comes to all of us being part of an advanced club. So looking forward to hear more insights from our next role player, which is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair, playing the role of General Evaluator. So let's welcome him. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. As General Evaluator, it's my task to evaluate the meeting and to suggest any improvements. So let's begin with the evaluation of the prepared speech that was delivered today. And for that, who will be taking up the timer's role? I think we have 2 minutes for each. For the coach, let's take 2 minutes for each evaluator. And over to you, Sita.
Thank you. And somebody can do the timing when I do the content evaluation. Pass it down to Falgun, please. And I also need to mention before I start my content evaluation, the timing that our target speaker had taken was exactly 6 minutes, 29 seconds. With that, let me commence my content evaluation for our target speaker, Sapna. I, me, myself. I always look at, especially the very first ice-breaking speech, Sapna, and more importantly, the topic for such icebreaker speaks, because such speeches is all about getting to know the person better. We all do know you, but typically it is more on how do you express it? How do you change the variations of introducing yourself? So first on the title, I, me, myself, did it catch everyone's attention? Yes, it did. We are looking eagerly for what next are you going to introduce yourself with I, me, and myself. Now, from the first part of your speech, if I look at the introduction, you did talk about your early years. You gave examples. There was definitely humor in your speech, those incidents that you narrated. From there on, you went on to the next part, which is the body of the speech, which is where you started explaining about your family, a little bit more about your career. I was expecting some sort of a nice transition there, which was probably, something of these were my version 1, Sapna, where I was trying to discover myself. I went about doing that, doing this, and these were certain things which taught me as a person. And that's exactly where I moved on to my next version. And what happened, I landed myself into something which I accidentally picked up, the payroll job that you did. So that would got us further into understanding it. And similarly, from the second part of what you are to the transition to conclusion, I found there were some gaps probably missing out there. And on the conclusion, did you have some expectations on us, on you? You did mention what is that you as a person believe in, how you have groomed yourself, your journey in Toastmasters. So all that part was there, but largely as people having heard some of your speeches, this Dil Mange more, I would have expected more of you in terms of understanding you better. So just that if you're taking care about these minute transition aspects as you move from the introduction, body, and the conclusion, it would have probably been a much better delivery, or I should say the way that you would have structured your content. So that's the element of guidance that I would have, I wanted to suggest to you as part of the content evaluation. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. So is there a delivery person, coach? All right, go ahead, Falgun.
Yes. The speech had clarity, great clarity in the words spoken. But somewhere it appeared that the speaker was not so calm. Why I say this is because the pace of the speech was a bit fast. This did not leave room to express the emotions, the thoughts, and emphasize the various points. There were, and somewhere during the speech, there were some areas, for example, the dad past is a difficult moment. The avoiding that aspect that came out appeared to me went quite fast. There was no change in the expressions of the face. It's okay to show your emotions. It did not hold back. And I would say that would really enhance the quality of the speech. Pitch, there can be variations. Also, giving the speech in a standing position would definitely enhance the quality of the speech, because then the hand gestures would aid whatever you're conveying to the audience. So as a speaker, I think those are some of the elements. At the end, we were able to see some amount of smile, where you say the speech title was incorrectly mentioned. But there can be smile used in various sections of the speech, and also sadness or other emotions based on your story of life which you're sharing with others. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
You're on mute, Arvind.
Thank you, Falgunan. And if we call for timings, we already know that they are both are within the time limit. All right. Now for the general evaluation of the meeting. But before that, may I invite the grammarian accountant to present the report for today.
Thank you. Just a minute. So for today, we have the word of the day was guidance. We have distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair, Toastmasters Sita, Nirrmala, Falgunan, and Akshay using it. The good usages were plenty. Started with a bang, sleeping away to glory, romance with proving people wrong, owning my own mistakes, impeccable journey, servant leadership, God's own country, ornithologist, guiding the flock, bombarded with, lead with the heart. Beautiful usages. Areas of improvement, probably it was a slip of the tongue. Handed back to the Toastmaster of the day. It was handed over to the Toastmaster of the day because charge was taken from Sergeant at Arms, and then it was going first for the first time to the Toastmaster of the day. Didn't know the language. We learned she was doing a lot of stuff that looks very conversational, somewhat colloquial. So we learned that she took up several activities. That would have been much better. And looking at our counter, as lead coach, Sita used once. Presiding officer, not as presiding officer, as a speaker, Sapna used like once, where it was not needed, the word like. And the Toastmaster of the day, table topic master of the day, Nirrmala used 5 times. Over to you, General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair.
Thank you, Girija, for that report. And now for my general evaluation of the meeting. Well, we started off 5 minutes late, I should say. It was at 10:05 that we started the meeting. Let's improve on the timing as well. Started off with the sergeant. I found that, yes, many people have taken up roles, different roles twice, 2 and 3 roles together. Great. We started off with the sergeant at arms, energetic start, laying the ground rules and also mentioning the club mission. I would suggest that we leave the opening of the meeting to the presiding officer, rather than the sergeant at arms saying, the sergeant at arms is only to welcome and give the rules and regulations for the meeting, that's all. Rather than it's the presiding officer who will begin the meeting, or I declare the meeting number so and so open. So let's have the presiding officer do that rather than the sergeant at arms. The presiding officer case began. And yes, the Sergeant at Arms did introduce the presiding officer. The presiding officer started off with a motivational speech, saying that we have 11 members have been renewed, and sought the promise to invite our guests and turn them into a member. Also introduced the Toastmaster of the Day. The Toastmaster of the Day had a wonderful theme for today with leadership legends, and went on to speak about a member or two from who has influenced him. Also mentioned the meeting format. I would have loved if the Toastmaster of the Day had also called for the timer to give the timing report after the prepared speech. So that there was a slip there. Let's have it corrected for the next time. Introducing the timer. Yes, the timer did a wonderful task today, multitasking, and that's what Toastmasters is all about. We multitask and we learn as we go along. The grammarian, wonderful word of the day with guidance. And yes, it was a good report that we did have. Table topic master, wonderful topics in sync with the theme, and all speakable and doable. Actually, what I was looking at was I think probably there must have been somebody, the geese flying in a V shape. I think that was, I wouldn't know, but I think probably there could have been somebody who actually said it. And as we have trainers and HR people here, I thought probably the name of the person would come in who gave that, but never mind. That would have been a learning for me. I'll look it up. That's another thing. Right. I think I've spoken about all the table topic master also. Well, I know it's raining, but we're all here and taking up the roles and continuing with the meeting. A few things that we need to be careful about. We can't use multiple and different together. Multiple means they can't be the same. They are only different words. So it can only be said one word, either multiple or different. You can't say slightly bit, because slightly is a bit, and use only one word, either slightly or bit. A timer is a person and not an object. So you would like to say a timer who is and not which is. We have, now this is where we need to be very careful on pathways, path, etc. So there are 11 parts as part of the Toastmasters Pathways program. So we have to be careful. And Sapna today was attempting a certain path, a new path and not new pathways. It's always said as a few. You can't use just few. The word has to be preceded by a. It has to be a few things and not few things. Known as Gauri, you can't. She is named Gauri. So the word is not named Gauri. She is named, I'm not known as, but named Gauri. You are grateful for and not grateful to somebody. Now we normally, it says that before a vowel, it should be said as an and not a, but in a silent H, we do not use an, so it would be a habit and not habit. We do not have cousins, sisters, and brothers. We just have cousins. So if you want to identify the gender, probably in the next sentence, you could use the concerned pronoun. Those were some of the things that I found that we need to be careful about. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for mentioning all those various points and helping us become better at our language as well as our roles. With this, we come towards the conclusion of our meeting number 51. That is, finally, after completion of 50 meetings, we had the opportunity today. Thanks to all the members who have shown up and taken up various roles. Each of you have added a bit of your leadership experience to the club, such that all of us take something back on the leadership aspect as well as communication. Hoping to continue this forward over the months to come by, such that we can grow as a better, stronger, advanced club. With this, now I will finally hand it over to the presiding officer, the distinguished Toastmaster, Sapna. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. It was a well-conducted meeting, and thank you so much to everybody who's made to the meeting today, took up roles, and ensure that the meeting finally happens, the first meeting for the new season. With this, I think we will not have any awards today because there was one speaker and everyone was playing multiple roles. But nonetheless, you all are winners for the day today for taking up roles and ensuring that the meeting happens. So thank you so much for that. I just have one thing that I wanted to bring up. So I know that we all had in the last month during a business meeting, we did decide that we're going to do it I think 9 o'clock meeting in the morning on first and third Saturday. But 9 o'clock, we've in the experience in the last 3 weeks, we members did come up and they say that they can't do a 9 o'clock in the morning. It's way too early, and we all understand that. Hence, the meeting timings will be 10 o'clock to 11:30 or 12 o'clock, depending on the number of speakers that we have. That is one. Second is that I wanted to take probably a vote. Is that instead of doing a first and a third Saturday, we want to go ahead and do it for a second and a fourth Saturday. And that's why a meeting will be held like that, because first and third for some is working. So second and fourth, we understand that will be free, so everybody can take out time. So I wanted to understand from the members of the club if you all are okay with second and fourth, so that we can go ahead and we can start conducting meetings in the month of August accordingly on second and fourth. Yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead with second and fourth. Now, it's a sincere request that, please, Girija has put in the information in the group. Nirrmala is following up. We need to ensure that we are able to go ahead and achieve our goals, DCP goals this year. So please come up, stand up for what all levels you are going to complete this year, even if it is 1 level, 2 levels. That you're going to definitely file it this year, so that accordingly it will be easier for our VP education to plan the meetings. She will know where to plug in whom, take up roles in every meeting. And also at the same time, please, we have the contest season as well coming up in the month of September. We have our renewals. We all have renewed, so renewals is out of the picture now, but we all have to ensure that we participate in the contest. We serve the district. 6th of August is an online training session, an entire day training session for the district, for the club officers who've not been able to attend it offline. So please keep yourself available throughout the day. The agenda will come, but please block your calendar for 6th of August, because we all have to ensure that as a club, we are able to attend the judges training program, the chief judges training program, and also the district officers, the club officer training program. And this will help us to go ahead and achieve some of the district awards as well. We are in the process of working on the club success plan, which will be shared with all of you. I'll try and share it by tomorrow. Please, and let me know if you have any additions to it, any contributions to it, so that we can incorporate all of those, and then we can send it across to the area director. Also, AD visit is pending, and I want to know from all of you, in the month of August, when do you guys think we can call the AD for the meeting? Because 10th of August till 23rd, I will not be available, as I'll be traveling. So do you want to go ahead? I would appreciate if you can call the area director, in the first meeting of August rather than delaying it. But I'll leave it open to you guys for discussion. When do you want to invite the area director for the meeting?
Is there any mandate for the AD, a timeline or something?
15th of August was the mandate actually for them to finish off
Gotcha.
the visits.
Then we don't have a choice. We have to do it in the first week because we just
Yeah.
have two
Otherwise,
meetings.
they will unnecessarily lose their post. So,
Yeah.
So the second meeting, that's fine. You guys can do that. So I'll let him know.
well,
Second meeting will be, I think the second Saturday will be 13th, 12th, right?
12th August.
12th August, right? So I'll let Sachin know about that. Also, I have to assign proxy, which I have put it in the group, but for some of you. So every 2 years, based on the odd and the even numbers, the international directors are, elected. And this year it is Region 13, along with all the other odd number international directors whose election campaigns are going on right now. So it is not limited to only trios, but any members of the club. Since every club holds 2 votes, every club member can go ahead, or as a club, as a joint, also can go ahead and interview these candidates. You can ask questions, whatever thoughts, questions, concerns that you have, and they'll have to answer. So the interview can go from 15 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour as well. So I just wanted to know, because a proxy has to be assigned to the district director. Before I do that, I want to encourage you all to actually block their calendars and meet them online, even if it is for 15 minutes, but get that exposure if you're interested to, question them, to understand what is their agenda like, how are they going to help the Toastmasters mission and the districts in, in strategizing and all. So if you have done that, or if you're interested, please let me know, because I will then assign the proxy by, I think, by next week end, because that is a timeline that I'll do. So if you guys are going to go ahead and take this entire week to interview candidates, please do let me know, because I wouldn't want to delay
how
beyond
many
the next
candidates,
weekend.
Shannon?
There are a lot many candidates. There is Region 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So we have 7 regions this time, and we have, I think, 15, 16 candidates, if I'm not wrong. One region will also have 3 to 4 candidates. If you want,
Very
yeah, I know
difficult
it's a lot of
to
time. Yeah,
all
it's a
the.
lot of time, but so I can go ahead and I can assign it on my own as well.
We could have interviewed 3-4 people, but 15 becomes too much a number.
No, interview individually 3, 4, if you want to, just for your own, I
Can
think,
do that actually.
information. 2, 3 people you all can pick, and you can pick up region and say, okay, I'm going to talk to these 2, 3 people. One person can talk to one region, and then you all can come back and tell me, we feel this person should have our vote, our club vote, and I can assign the votes accordingly before I assign that proxy to the district director.
I like
And
that
we
idea.
can do these interviews anytime, as in the evenings.
Yes. So there is, I can send you the link to their profiles, which is the candidate profiles. Candidate corners is there. There they have the Calendly link, and you can go ahead and you can block it. Do a 15 minutes interview, prepare your questions, whatever you want to ask them, understand, and then just come back and tell me, this region, I feel this person, we can vote, we can set the votes to this person, and that's how it will happen. You
I'll
can
take
pick up
two,
one
Sapna.
region.
I'll take two.
But you'll have to actually go through their profile first, yeah?
Yeah.
You just cannot go and just ask them anything. You'll have to find out, go through their profile, and then decide the questions that you want to ask. And see, if the person is not from our district or does not look after our district, then you can't ask anything pertaining, but just general questions you could ask them.
See, the whole purpose, is that everybody gets that exposure. One day or the other, you will be into the leadership of Toastmasters, even. So you can actually go ahead and you can ask them questions. What challenges we are facing as a club? Correct? Maybe it's the increase in the dues, but the dip in the service levels. What are the other issues as a member, as a club, that you guys are facing? You can actually ask those questions in 15 minutes or some 15, 20 minutes, whatever depends on your schedule.
And
I'll take two, Sapna. Sorry.
And there's, you have to be very careful. They may not.
I am sending the link on the group. Okay, so you guys can then pick it up. I'm sending it in the members group. You all can go
Well-
ahead and you can pick up one region each, out 1 or 2, whatever you want to do. You can go as 2 people together as well. It won't be that's so you can go ahead and you can fix up 15-minute slot with everybody. Yeah.
Sapna,
And
you'll have
let
to
me
give
know.
you'll have to
Yeah.
give a little write-up before that, because only there are so many people who in this meeting, but there are members who have not attended.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And secondly, also you will have to mention send out a mail saying that you are revising or changing the timing or the date of
Correct.
the meeting from 1st to 3rd,
Should I
2nd.
put it up in the WhatsApp group only?
You have
I
to.
don't have
No, WhatsApp group is not the actual official thing. Has to be on email if there
I'll
is
send it out.
such a thing, and they have to agree. If anybody
Yeah,
has any
I'll
concerns,
agree.
they have to come back. So all that is required, because whatever
I'll give a
decisions the
certain
ExCom
time.
takes, whatever decision the ExCom takes has to be shared with the members before it is put into
Done.
practice.
Done. I'll put everything into that and I'll send it out today. Yeah. All right then. Thank you, everybody. That's it from my side.
Right.
Anybody, any questions, concerns,
you.
anything?
On that particular link, you cannot really see the calendar link.
No, you need to go into each candidate's profile. That's where you will be able to check the Calendly link and book a slot with them. So there is no more about this candidate. You click on that button, it takes you to the individual profile, and there you can book the slots.
Okay, because I was not able to see.
The slot for
thought-
there's a website which is given.
So when you say learn about it, below somewhere on that profile, I think it's yeah. So if you go to their websites also, because everybody has created a website, there you should be able to book the slots and all. So you'll have to actually read through the profile, check the website
Okay.
link. Yeah, and that's where on their websites they have schedule a meeting.
Contact me is there in their
Yeah.
profile.
Yeah. So you
Schedule
can
a
do all of
meeting
that.
also inside.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thanks everybody.
A pic,
Take
group
care,
pic.
people.
Says as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
please.
group picture, yes. So let us all smile, let's have hearts reaction, everyone continuously heart reaction so that it can be captured. Alright, just a moment. 3, 2, 1. Let's have the heart reaction again. Some of the heart reaction was missing. Yes. Just a moment. Some issue. I'm getting a lot of pop-ups. It keeps coming up in the image. Can we have heart reaction one last time? Nirrmala, Girija?
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. I have raised my hand, so I'm sorry.
Yes, finally got a good picture. Yes, got a good picture.
Thank you. Thanks everybody.
All
Enjoy
right,
your
thank you so much.
weekends.
Good
Bye bye.
night.
Bye.
Goodbye.